This is Black Fountain, and it's an oil can delay from Old Blood Noise. Black Fountain was the first pedal they ever made, and this is an updated version of that. This version is stereo, it has presets, it has MIDI, and it can create some really incredible textures. All the controls are pretty straightforward. There are modulation controls for the delay, and there's a separate time control for the left and the right side. But what makes this pedal really special are the grit and the space knob. So when you turn the space knob up, it creates this really washed out sound that does some really interesting things in stereo. The grit adds some drive, and when combined with space, adds a really incredible texture that I think is the best part of this pedal. So that grit knob adds drive that's a combination of gain from the original Black Fountain and the soft clipping from the Dark Star stereo. I think that's cool, they just mashed them together.
I thought it was just the Dark Star clipping, but then we asked him.
Yeah, I actually had to ask Dan. I was like, what is that? I was really surprised to see how much impact the tone knob has on the delay, because it seems a lot more dramatic than most other delay pedals. So when that tone knob is turned up, it can get really clean and clear. But when the tone knob is turned down, it becomes this muddier layer underneath what you play. And when you do that and you turn the grit knob up, it becomes this really dirty, beautiful, washy sound. So I'm going to start with the tone knob in the middle, and I'll be turning it up and down so you can hear the difference as we go. So when I eventually turn the tone knob all the way down, I'm going to turn that grit knob all the way up so you can hear how they work together. An expression pedal to control anything on Black Fountain and even multiple things at once, and it's pretty easy to set up. So I'm going to plug this expression pedal into Black Fountain, and I'll be using my foot to control the amount of grit in the delay. The expression ramper can be used to automatically move settings back and forth, so I'm going to use it to make the grit go up and down automatically. I'll be making the modulation deep but slow, and it kind of feels like this really organic, moving, breathing thing, kind of like an oil monster. I like the modulation best when it's slow and deep, and it's also great when it's fast and shallow, but let's be real here. Nobody ever turns them both up at the same time and likes it. You know what I mean? Who likes the sound? You can't get anything usable out of that sound. I actually did get something usable out of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It sounds cool. So maybe, I guess I'm that guy. Originally, I did it to show that nobody would do it, but then when I did it, it actually sounded really cool. So, f me. Now I'm going to use Black Fountain on the bass strings of my harp, and I'm going to turn the grit all the way up. And then I'm going to plug the full range of my harp into Dark Star. Turning the spread up makes it wider in stereo, but I'm going to leave it maybe like halfway so that you can more clearly hear the Black Fountain moving in stereo. You can use the tap tempo on Black Fountain, or you can use an external tap tempo device like Scooch to control the tap tempo remotely. If you have a pedal board and Black Fountain is all the way up here, then you can use an external tap tempo device to reach it easier. I made a track with my friend Joe, who plays drums, and I was able to sync up Black Fountain's delay time to the click track in my DAW using MIDI. All I had to do was connect Black Fountain to my computer using this Roland UM1, and I was able to sync the delay time up to the click track that Joe recorded to. And while I play, you're going to see me sometimes holding down this aux foot switch to self-oscillate the delay. Thank you so much to Old Blood Noise for sending me Black Fountain and for sponsoring today's video.